This season, obviously, just an unprecedented one. And now that you've got a chance to go through practices and games, what has been the balancing act, the difficult balancing act that you've had to do?
I think number one, you always want your student athletes to have some joy, meaning joy in practice, joy in the games. And then the funnest part about playing a team sport or coaching a team sport or just being a part of any team is the actual camaraderie on the team bus, the camaraderie at team meals. So much of that has been eliminated, Pat. That's been the most difficult thing. For instance, our medical staff, when we land in a city, I get into a car with staff members that have already had COVID because I haven't had it. So I don't ride the team bus. That's not my decision. I would much prefer to be on the bus laughing and joking with our guys. We eat in a hotel together fairly quickly, and then guys are going in their rooms. I don't like that because we've always taken our teams out to a restaurant the night before a game and had some fun and tried to learn something about the city that we're in. So I think there's so many little things that people just don't understand that's going on. And then just the atmosphere of an in-game is so much different, Pat. And you can't get the feel on TV how different it truly is in the arena. And then as I've kind of watched so many games across the country, there's been a lot of lopsided games as well. There's been some close games, but there's also, and I'm not just talking about our own team, I'm talking about nationally when I watch some games across the country.
Coach, I thought about this early on when you guys started playing games. Like, I really feel for these guys who never got a chance to play in front of 20,000 people. And, you look at Moses Moody, Little Rock kid, Jalen Williams, Devo Davis. Like, I pray that it's going to be back there like that next year. But just that experience, and how playing in arenas like that, I've since then, since I left college, Coach, part of the reason why I'm such a maniac is because I've been trying to find that feeling of 20,000 people rooting for you. I mean, there's just nothing like it in the world. And I just feel for those young guys, man, or all those guys that haven't experienced it, and hopefully they will.
Yeah, I mean, the first time I felt it at our early home games just because Bud Walton is, so powerful, as you mentioned, with the pop in the arena and the excitement. But when we went to Auburn in a league road game, as I was walking out with the assistant coaches, and when we hit the floor, I kind of turned back and said, this is really weird. Like, because usually that place is jumping and it's a road game and it's an in-conference game. And I think from a development standpoint, when we start back up next year, even the freshmen across the country, they're not used to playing in front of crowds now at the college level. And that's going to be a whole unique situation and growth process for all freshmen across the country.
It is amazing how the building, wherever you play on the road or even the Bud, it takes on a life of its own, even where you're at Memorial Gymnasium, okay? Now, I hope every few minutes, if you could just give me an update on how we're shooting right now, if we're feeling good. But even that place.
I feel a lot better if you were shooting here with us, I can tell you that.
Well, that gym, if it's the first time you've been there, everything is just strange because of just the whole place looks strange to get used to it. Well, let me ask you this. I want to start with obviously you've been on every level of basketball, and I never really got a chance to talk to you about. You were at Rapid City, and I played for the Black Hills Gold in Rapid City, South Dakota for a season. Now that is something you never forget, Coach. I mean, it's just a great experience. How did it all come about getting the Arkansas job?
Yep.
Contacted you. I don't know if I'm sure you've gone into the detail, but I just think it's interesting how you had in that relationship happened with Hunter Yurachek.
Yeah, so it was unique. After our second year at Nevada, we had, it was usually between 2 to 4 programs that there would be some type of initial conversation, and I was really happy at Nevada. I loved the athletic department. I loved our AD, Doug Newth. And it was a comfortable situation where I really wasn't looking. And had a couple phone calls after that 4th year, one of them being Arkansas. And my wife was really overly excited and really started diving into Northwest Arkansas and the living and all the businesses and corporate headquarters that are there. And of course, growing up, I knew all about Coach Sutton. I knew all about Coach Richardson. I knew about all the players that Coach Richardson had gotten, where they were from. I had been around players like Corey Beck, who played in the old CBA. And I had coached Clint Richardson. So there was a lot of things that, or Clint McDaniel, I'm sorry, there was a lot of, connections. And I just felt like Arkansas is a great basketball school. And then when I started meeting with Hunter Yurachek, I thought, I don't know if I could work for a better athletic director. And obviously Arkansas is a basketball school. It's also a football school. It's also a baseball school. It's a track school.
Gymnastics, you name it now.
You name it. And I say it all the time, Pat, that I tell recruits, like, when you go into our athletic cafeteria, like it's a cafeteria of champions because of the track, because of the baseball. We've got so many great winning programs on our campus, and you really don't know that until you're actually a part of that Razorback family.
Well, Coach, the other side of it too is, I don't know how many college players will get to experience President Bill Clinton being at one of their games. Now we got smoked by Cincinnati by 30 that game, but Coach Richardson didn't yell at us too much because President Clinton gave the post-game speech. But then we traveled to NCAA tournaments, and at that time you had alumni and some boosters traveling with you. J.B. Hunt sitting in the front row of the plane. It's just, I think the basketball and the athletic tradition is there, but I think your wife saw something even bigger in that area, in the state, just how special it is. And so was she behind you wearing all those different T-shirts with the names of businesses on them?
That was actually me. She usually comes up with all the ideas. But last year during press conferences, I decided to, wear some of our corporate sponsors and just to promote a little bit more as best we could. But yes, I mean, as you know, better than anyone, Pat, it's an incredibly great city to live in. Our family loves it. And the basketball tradition is what really makes it a great job.
Coach, they accepted a Yankee like me, okay? I mean, they got to be half good, all right?